All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shelley, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Thank you very much for tuning us in here today. Lots going on. Boy, we've had a hot couple of weeks, no pun intended, right? Let's take a look and see if the markets are still rocking and rolling. We were lower in the corn by about 10 cents the last time. It's added to it, hasn't it? 13.25 cents lower now in the SEP now. 524 is last. We've still got about a 16-cent range, but 524.25 now is last, and that's 2 cents off the lows. All right, so 13 cents lower in SEP. East, the new crop's down 13.25 cents to 5.33, and that's a couple cents off the lows, and that too's had about a 15 or 16 cent range, something similar. Let's move from corn now to beans. Beans are lower here. August now down to 14.93 even as last. 8 cents from the lows. And what's that? We got about 10 cents from the highs. So that's we're going to call that in the middle of the range, right? Let's not belabor that. November's down 10.25 cents. That's the new crop. 13.94.5 is last. What is that? 9 cents from the lows, and about what? I'll say call that 14 cents from the highs. So that's also in the middle of the range. So we'll keep an eye on that for you, but that's not doing a ton right now. Kind of consolidating after the moves we've had as of late. Let's take a look at wheat. This is where the action is today, and it's not good action. It's lower. Chicago wheat's down 32.25 cents to 6.94 3/4, and that's about three ticks off the lows right now. And we've had about a 39 cent range, almost a 40 cent range. That's pretty good going, right? And we've got the D board right behind it, 31 cents lower to 7.15 1/4. And that's had a similar range as well. So that market trading weak as we speak. Let's talk about the hard red in Kansas City, 25.25 cents lower there, and that's subcontract to 8.49.5. 7.5 cents from the lows. We've got a ways to go to get back to the highs. We've had about a 36 cent range over there. Dees, hard red wheat, that's down 24.75 cents to 8.56. How about spring wheat? And this is the Minneapolis contract, 23.75 cents lower, and that's subcontract to 8.78 1/4. 1 tick off the lows, and that's a 29 cent range. 1 tick off the lows of a 29 cent. Now we're on the low of a 29 cent range. That'll give you an idea. We're 24 cents lower. We're trading weak. 22.75 cents lower in that D's contract to 8.89. A penny and a quarter off the lows, a similar range. Let's talk about cotton real quick, and we'll get to our next guest analyst. Cotton's up 16 points in the D's to 84.47 as we dial in Todd Bubba Horowitz from Las Vegas. I think he's in Las Vegas. It sounds like Las Vegas. And it is. There we go. All right, Todd. You're a bull. I know you're a bull. Are we consolidating, taking a breather? Are we tired? What's happening?
I think just some wild action, Scott. I mean, I think this is the kind of action you expect when a market is trying to make a bottom or a top. And I think we've made the bottoms. And I think you're going to see some of this more wild action. Trading is still relatively thin. There's a lot of issues that push markets one way and the other. And, of course, the equities remain to hold strong, which does keep some pressure here. I mean, you would think that there'd be a little bit of pressure in the equities after yesterday, but no, they came right back. But I think that you've seen just normal kind of action. The swings may be wider and bigger than we expect, but maybe we're forgetting how markets actually really trade when they start to get busier.
Yeah, I mean, and also, we were talking to PJ Quaid, more of an options thing, but, it does. Sometimes, yes, we do have a lot of algorithms in the market. We do have a lot of high-frequency trading in the market, right? We have a lot of that happening. But at the same time, ultimately, there's a lot of humans involved, too. And sometimes when we have the volatility that we've just had, I can kind of feel people pulling back, especially on a Friday, going, oh, I need a break.
I can agree with that. I mean, look, again, you've got the battle of the funds still trying to do some shorting. You've got a market that looks like it's turning to more bullish. And you could see some pressure on the market as some buyers try to come in and accumulate at lower prices. Between the fear of a long week, between the crazy action we had, between just get me out of here, and of course, then we'll see. We'll see. And next week, I think I'll tell the bigger story as to where we're really going to go from here. But it does look to me that we put in pretty solid bottoms.
Yeah, I mean, all the producers love to hear it out there. The only thing I'd have to ask you real quick: do you worry about us being overpriced at all?
No, I don't think we're anywhere near overpriced. I think in relationship to other products, we're actually pretty cheap, which is that's the scary part that has always bothered me about this market, is that we were relatively cheap to everything else, and that's really not a good situation.
All right. Okay, stay right there. We need to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more livestock with Todd Bubba Horowitz, Bubba Trading in Las Vegas. We'll be right back after this. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about the four-legged friends, our livestock, right? Some furry, some not. But let's get right into it. Remember, let's go to live cattle first. And yesterday, we touched all-time record highs pretty much across the board on live cattle. August is down here now 25 cents. Nothing really going on right now. 180.07. We're right in the middle of the day's range. I'm going to call that. There's not a lot going on. You can see the D, so that's down 30 cents to 185.67. And that's not doing very much either. 67 cents away from the lows of the day, and we've got about $1.30 to get up to the new highs. So that's a live cattle board after setting some record highs yesterday, kind of settling back in. Feeder cattle, this is when it's levitating again. Boy, it just keeps finding more oxygen to kind of climb to higher levels. August is up 97 cents to 246.07. Go out to the November, that's up $1.50 to 251.47. So that's some pretty good going. Getting closer. We're about 70 cents away from the highs. We'll keep an eye on that. But feeder cattle acting strong as the live cattle are kind of rolling over. And then finally, let's take a look at lean hogs. We'll get back to our guest analyst. August is defying the trend here. That's up 20 cents to be 100.82. But if you go out to the D, that's down 65 cents to 76.60. All right, let's bring back in Todd Bubba Horowitz to see what he's got any thoughts on this. Todd, anything jump out at you when we talk about the cattle and hogs?
You know, they look good, but I would be a seller. I mean, you know, we're getting in the prices that are I don't know, ridiculous, I think. You know, we go back years ago and we had, you know, prices like this and they came straight down. Again, I don't want anybody to be afraid like they're going to fall apart. I just don't know how much more buying there is that's going to support these prices, especially as we start to rebuild inventory, right? I mean, you know, we're only up here in the hog market, in the cattle market, because of the shortage of cattle. So, you know, what happens when we do start rebuilding it over the next year, 2 or 3? You know, I don't know that there's much more room for these things to go a lot higher. I don't think they're going to go crashing down, and certainly I think hogs at $1 at this time of year, as we go into the, you know, October, December, they start to go lower. I would expect that we're probably have seen the highs for the year.
Yeah, you got to be, you know, I agree with you. You got to be careful. And what you have to do is you have to kind of go into that little psychological mode, and you have to think to yourself, all right, if I'm long here, especially cattle I'm talking, what's it going to take for this market? What do I need to see this market go higher? What kind of news has to come out to see things go even higher, right? And we've had a lot of bullish news, and so that's why I get surprised when it keeps eking higher, because I keep thinking it's going to run out of oxygen.
And the other big thing you want to think about, since you brought that up, is how much more can it go up versus what can it go down when it does finally decide to go down. Yeah. What is your risk versus what are your reward now? And if you're an owner and you've got livestock, you should be protecting these prices up here, because at the end of the day, this could get ugly at some point. And I'm telling you it's getting ugly today, but I certainly want to lock in these profits here.
I agree with you. Okay, thanks for that. Very good stuff. Great content. Todd Bubba Horowitz coming to us from Las Vegas. Bring it back here to Nashville. Nash Vegas, that's what some people call it.